You are such a weak little daughter-in-law. Hurry up and get back home. There's still plenty of housework waiting for you.
Lucy, I'm currently lying in a hospital bed.
Huh? Are you seriously lying down before 8 a.m.?
It's not just lying down. I'm hospitalized. Because of your constant bullying, I ended up with a serious injury.
A serious injury? Don't be so dramatic. Getting hospitalized over a little mother-in-law bullying? Really? Young people these days have no backbone at all. You're completely spineless.
Spineless? Is that really the issue here? You suddenly claimed your hand slipped and shoved me down the stairs, didn't you? I hit my head hard, and there was blood everywhere. I somehow managed to get to the hospital on my own.
Just hitting your head a little? A quick spit should sort it out, right? If you're not discharged and back home by the end of today, you'll regret it.
I've been told I'll need to stay in the hospital for about 10 days. There's no way I can be discharged suddenly.
What? Why 10 days?
During the week you stayed over, you treated me like a slave. You said it was a waste of time for me to even sleep, woke me up in the middle of the night to clean the entire house, and forced me to start cooking meals early in the morning. The doctor said it's from overwork and told me to rest for a while.
Rest? That's something you can fix by just lying down. Stop being so spoiled. Get back home and start doing the housework, you useless jerk.
You woke me up at 2 a.m. to mop the floors, remember? Then you yelled at me, saying the floor wasn't shiny enough, and made me redo it. I finished at 5 in the morning, and right after that, you told me to start preparing breakfast.
That's normal. You're my daughter-in-law after all.
Normal, you say? Did you live like that when you were younger?
I've always taken care of my home properly. It's a wife's duty to support the household.
But without any time to sleep, my body can't take it. I'm not a robot.
Oh, weren't you born to be a housework robot? You're useless anyway, with no education and no income. If you don't sacrifice your sleep to do housework, you won't contribute anything to the family.
I've been doing my best. As a stay-at-home wife, I've been cooking meals, cleaning and doing laundry every single day, all on my own. But you always say I'm slacking and pile on more chores, right?
I gave a useless person like you a role to play. You should be grateful.
Because of that, I got sick and ended up in the hospital.
Being in the hospital is basically a luxury treatment. Back in the day, people didn't run to the hospital over things like that.
Lucy, times have changed. Have you ever thought about how harmful overwork is to the body?
Overwork can be overcome with determination. Hurry up and get discharged, then come back home. While you're away, what is Jacob supposed to eat? You're not seriously thinking of making my son do housework, are you?
Even without me, the housework should still get done. Jacob can handle taking care of himself while I'm in the hospital. And nowadays, there are convenient housekeeping services available.
Relying on something like that is pathetic. Letting strangers into your house for housekeeping? There would be no privacy at all. And it costs money too. All this can be avoided if you just come back right away.
Lucy, you really don't see me as a person, do you?
That's right. You're not a human being. You're just trash.
Trash?
You're whining over doing a little housework? With such a weak attitude, how have you even survived this long? You're just trash in society. I tried to clean up the trash, but I failed.
What? Failed to clean up the trash? Are you saying you tried to kill me?
Oh, don't say such violent things. You're so dramatic. I simply said I failed to throw trash in the garbage bin. That's all.
I see. I'm nothing more than trash to you. I've endured so much, but to not even be seen as a person? I've reached my limit. Someone, please help me.
No one is going to help you. You don't have any relatives to rely on. And my son is on my side. Serves you right. As long as you're my daughter-in-law, I'll keep tormenting you.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask for some help with something.
What can I help you with?
This is my first time reaching out to a place like this, and I'm not really sure how to explain it properly.
That's all right. This is a free consultation desk for investigation requests. Feel free to tell us what you'd like help with.
Well, I was wondering if you could investigate someone for me.
We specialize in everything from infidelity investigators to finding runaway people and uncovering secrets. That's our selling point. So yes, we can handle pretty much anything.
I want you to dig up some dirt on my mother-in-law.
Oh, a family matter, huh? Issues between daughters-in-law and mothers-in-law are pretty common. Let me introduce myself. My name's Liam. I'm a detective here at this investigation agency. When you say dirt on your mother-in-law, what kind of secrets are you looking for exactly?
What kind? I want to know if there's anything she's been hiding. Sorry, I don't have any concrete examples.
That's totally fine. Most people start off like that. How about I ask you a different question? Why do you want to uncover your mother-in-law's secrets? Could you tell me the reason?
Well, that's why I've just reached my limit.
I see. Mother-in-law bullying is something we hear about often, but in your case, it seems pretty severe. You've endured it for 10 years? That must have been incredibly tough.
Yes, I just want to get out of that house. To pull off a successful escape, I've got to have something to bargain with.
Escape? Bargain? Well. That's an interesting way to put it. You asked me to dig up dirt on your mother-in-law, didn't you? Dirt is a tool meant to blackmail someone. Plain and simple.
Blackmail? I've never...
Sorry, that might have been a poor choice of words. But no one digs up dirt on someone who mistreats them just to escape. What you're really after is revenge, isn't it? If you only wanted to escape, you wouldn't have come to me.
You might be right. I didn't want to just run away without doing anything. I've tried to talk to my husband about it many times. Each time, he just dismissed me saying, "You're overthinking it," or "It's just once a year. Can't you endure it?" When I brought it up seriously, he turned on me instead, saying, "How dare you speak badly of my mother?" In the end, he just cut the conversation short by saying, "Don't put me in the middle of this." No matter how much I tried to explain how painful it was for me, he refused to listen. Even online, I saw so many people suffering from daily bullying by their mothers-in-law. Reading the experiences of others with the same struggles was the only way I could console myself. When I talked to my friends, they'd brush it off with comments like, "It's only for a few days," or "Family relationships are important." I had no choice but to force myself to accept it by telling myself, I'm not the only one. But deep down, I've already reached my limit. Being completely misunderstood, it's such a painful thing, isn't it?
I see. People tend to get swept up in the opinions of the majority. When everyone around you considers something to be normal, it's hard to voice an opposing opinion. But you didn't run away. You took action. Having the courage to do that is impressive in itself.
Do you really think so?
Still, I have to say, I'm amazed you managed to endure it for 10 years. But now that you've made the decision to come here for help, let's talk about something practical. Our agency can handle just about anything, but because of that, we charge far more than others. That said, we deliver results worth every penny. You can trust us on that.
Money isn't an issue. I inherited my grandparents' estate.
Oh, hidden assets, huh? You're tougher than you look. So, how much are you willing to pay?
What?
I mean, how much are you willing to spend to get revenge on your mother-in-law?
Well, I thought the fees were fixed.
What we can do depends on the budget. Of course, we'll discuss specifics once you decide to proceed with the request. Consider this a point of reference while you're deciding.
I understand. I'll make the request.
What? Are you sure? Honestly, I'd recommend getting quotes from other places first.
No, it's fine. I want you to handle this, Liam. Because this was the only place that actually listened to me. No one else even came close.
I see. Got it. In that case, let me make this clear. No matter what happens, we're on your side, so don't worry about a thing. Now then, how much will the fee be? Hey, how much longer are you planning to laze around in that hospital? Your injury's already healed, hasn't it?
There's no way it would heal that quickly. It's only been 4 days since I was admitted.
4 days is more than enough time to rest. Honestly, still not coming back? You're such a useless daughter-in-law. Someone who can't even handle a few days of mother-in-law bullying has no business being married to my son. I've already talked it over with him. We've decided to live together from now on. I'm going to whip that spoiled attitude of yours into shape.
Live together? You can't just decide that without asking me.
What are you even saying? This is your fault for not getting discharged right away.
I haven't done anything wrong. In the first place, the reason I ended up in the hospital is because of you, isn't it? I used to put up with it once a year for just a few days, but it's been escalating every year, and Jacob just pretends not to notice. I've reached my limit. Enough is enough. I'm not trash, and I'm not a punching bag. I'm leaving. If I stay here, my life is seriously in danger.
Oh, shut up! Just because you're feeling a bit better, you think you can talk back to me? You're a stay-at-home wife. You have no way to escape. You'll stay here as my daughter-in-law, being used by this family for the rest of your life, you useless trash.
I'm done holding back. If you won't treat me as a human being, then there's no need for me to treat you like one either.
This is hilarious. I always thought you were a stupid woman, but I didn't think you could be this dumb. Well, unlike me and Jacob, you are just trash without a proper education, so I guess it can't be helped.
Calling me trash again, huh?
So you get discharged, go off somewhere, and then suddenly come back just to say, I'm getting a divorce, grab your stuff and leave? You might be acting all tough, but how exactly is someone like you with no money planning to live alone? If you run away, you'll just end up homeless. Stop this nonsense and come back. A foolish wife like you needs to be properly disciplined.
I've already moved into a monthly rental apartment, so I'm not coming back. And as for money, I had hidden funds.
What? You were holding on to something like that?
It was something I kept for emergencies, so I'm not worried about money anymore, and I'd appreciate it if you stopped looking down on me.
I've never heard about this. Keeping money hidden and then running off without telling your husband? What a conniving woman you are. Hand that money over to the family.
This money was entrusted to me by my grandparents for my own use. I see no reason to hand it over to you.
Your grandparents? They didn't seem like they had that much money.
That might be how it looked on the surface, but my grandparents ran a small construction business in the local area for many years. It wasn't a big company by any means, but it built trust over time by doing honest and diligent work. As a result, the business established relationships with prominent local real estate firms, gradually accumulating wealth. On top of that, my grandparents were frugal and never lived extravagantly. They steadily saved their earnings. From a young age, I was taught money is there to help you when you're in trouble. When my grandparents retired and closed their business, they entrusted their entire estate to me.
Even so, keeping money hidden like that isn't normal. It's a wife's duty to contribute her money to the household.
No, my grandparents always said to save it for when I really need it. So this money is for my own use. I have no obligation to hand it over to you.
Don't get cocky with me. Did hitting your head make you forget how to behave? I won't let you get a divorce. Letting go of such a convenient slave would be such a waste. And besides, even if you call it hidden funds, it can't be much, right? You're barely capable of running away, and now you're putting on a brave face? How pathetic. If you push for a divorce, it'll turn into a court case, you know. You don't have the ability to handle something like that. Stop sulking like a child and causing trouble for Jacob.
I've already hired a lawyer.
What?
I was referred to an excellent lawyer, and I also have a very capable advisor guiding me. I didn't know what to do at first, but now I have a clear path forward. I honestly debated whether I should just run away, but running away wasn't enough. My resentment toward you and Jacob is far too great. If I don't do something about this hatred, I won't be myself anymore. So I'll be returning the suffering you've inflicted on me. After all, it's only fair to return what I've received.
What nonsense are you spouting? Get back here right now, you useless jerk. Don't make up such blatant lies about hiring a lawyer. Unbelievable. I never thought you'd actually hire a lawyer. How on earth did you manage to find one?
I already told you, didn't I? I have a very capable advisor who referred me to an excellent lawyer.
And now you're filing a criminal complaint? What's going on? What did I even do to deserve this?
This is unbelievable. I mean, how could you possibly think I wouldn't file a complaint? Until now, I didn't have much solid evidence to use against you. But this time, with the incident that landed me in the hospital, I have everything I need. I've filed a criminal complaint with the police for assault and intimidation. Be prepared for what's coming.
What? What are you even talking about? I didn't do anything. You're delusional, accusing me like this. Have you completely lost your mind?
Who exactly has lost their mind here? I have solid evidence, you know.
I didn't push you down the stairs on purpose. It was just an accident. My hand slipped. I didn't have any malicious intent, and I never imagined it would lead to you being hospitalized.
Looking at the messages you sent me on WhatsApp, it's clear that your actions were deliberate and full of malice. Even the police said the level of malicious intent here is significant. For enduring all of this, maybe I really was out of my mind. But thanks to hitting my head, I was finally able to come to my senses. So thank you, Lucy. You helped bring me back to my true self.
What are you even talking about? You're not making any sense. And let me tell you this. No matter what you do, it's all pointless. You're just acting out of spite against me. Doing something so foolish. But I won't let things go the way you want them to. Too bad. In the end, the one with money always wins. You can't actually hand me over to the police.
Offering a settlement? You must be out of your mind. Do you really think I'd agree to a settlement?
If you won't agree, then I'll fight you until you do. I've hired a lawyer too. You know my husband is a landowner, and we've got plenty of money, don't you? If you go up against me, you'll run out of resources long before I do.
Well,
as long as I pay up, that should be enough, right? Too bad for you. You wanted to make me suffer. Most problems can be solved with money, you know. It pisses me off to give you money, but if that'll shut you up, I'll give it to you. People like you need a little charity to survive.
That's the message I just received from my mother-in-law on WhatsApp. She's trying to settle this with money and put an end to it.
She seems pretty confident, doesn't she? Is she really that wealthy?
Yes, my mother-in-law does have a lot of money. My father-in-law is a landowner, and her family was wealthy as well.
Sounds like a tough opponent. What about your husband?
I think I'll manage to get the divorce finalized. It seems I'll be able to get alimony too. Plus, we have many mutual acquaintances, and word of our divorce drama seems to have leaked somewhere. I've heard he's become isolated from his friends because of it. But the person I really want revenge on is my mother-in-law.
Of course. Then, shall we take this one step further? Jennifer, under no circumstances should you agree to the settlement. Money is powerful, but the more power someone uses, the sooner it runs out. Let's make her realize she's dead wrong if she thinks everything can be solved with money. Hey, stop messing with me. Pick up the phone.
What's wrong? You seem pretty panicked. I'm on the train right now, so I can't answer your call.
Suddenly, my house phone and mailbox are flooded with hateful messages. You did something, didn't you?
I didn't do anything. I just had someone look into you, that's all.
What? Why would you need to investigate me?
Well, you got a lawyer ready so quickly, and you seemed awfully familiar with handling situations like this. So I had someone investigate your workplace, your neighbors, your former classmates, and even your juniors. When we looked into things thoroughly, we found plenty of people who've been bullied or harassed by you in the past. Some of them reached settlements with you, it seems, but most of the victims just suffered in silence, didn't they? My advisor contacted all the victims and shared your contact information with them. That's probably why you're getting bombarded with messages.
So it was your fault. What are you going to do about this?
The cause of all this is you, Lucy, isn't it? If you hadn't done anything wrong, people wouldn't be contacting you like this. The fact that you're receiving so many messages shows just how many people hold a grudge against you. Isn't it about time you started making amends for the things you've done?
I don't need to make amends for anything. I haven't done anything wrong. It's just you lowlifes ganging up on me. It's pathetic. Lowlifes like you should stay in the dirt where you belong. You've really crossed the line now. I can't believe this. I haven't done anything wrong. So why are so many people filing criminal complaints against me?
I don't think anyone would file a complaint without a reason.
I can't handle all of this. This has to be your doing, doesn't it? Otherwise, it makes no sense. How else could all these complaints be filed at once?
I haven't done anything. All the communication with everyone is being handled not by me, but by my advisor. Lucy, it seems you believe that money could solve anything, but people's feelings can't be bought with money. That applies not only to love, but also to anger and resentment.
Why? If you have money, you can achieve almost anything. People only treat others well because they're after their money, right?
That's not true. The reason we're taking these actions isn't because we want money. It's because we want you to face proper social consequences for your actions. Of course, it's not a bad thing if your wealth gets diminished in the process, but ideally, I hope you'll end up being arrested. I'm sure the other victims feel the same way, which is why they went out of their way to file complaints against you. Otherwise, I'm sure no one would want anything to do with someone like you ever again.
There's no way I'm going to lose to a lowlife like you. Unlike you with no real education, no relatives, no income as a stay-at-home wife, I'm wealthy and envied by everyone. I've always been that way, and anyone who opposes me is in the wrong.
The only person who thinks that in this world is you, Lucy. Even after all these complaints have been filed, you still can't recognize your own wrongdoing. At this point, there's really nothing left to say.
Finally, I've found the culprit. Thanks to you, my life is completely ruined. Oh, nice to meet you. Do you have a request for me? Don't play dumb with me. You're the one, the detective who's been snooping around about me. I wouldn't call it snooping. I'd say investigating. Well, I suppose they're not all that different. So, what can I do for you? You went to the trouble of finding my contact information and sending me a message. So if you have a request, I'm all ears. Stop whatever weird things you're doing right now. Weird things? Could you be a bit more specific? It'd be helpful if you explain clearly. Don't mock me. I'm telling you to stop investigating me. And that's not all. You've been spreading strange rumors at my workplace too, haven't you? Rumors? Oh, you mean the one about you possibly embezzling money? That wasn't me. What I found out was that you handle accounting at your workplace and are infamously known as the office queen. And anyway, it's not a rumor if it's true, is it? You've been fudging the accounting numbers, haven't you? How does an outsider like you even know internal information? Well, I am a detective. I've got plenty of people working for me. And if I need temporary help, that's where the power of money, something you love so much, comes into play, doesn't it? Oh, but that bit about you fudging the numbers, that was just a bluff. Thanks for falling for it so perfectly. You tricked me? I was just fishing for a reaction. I can't exactly get access to internal information after all. But judging by your reaction, it really does seem like you're cooking the books. As they say, where there's smoke, there's fire. People already think you're the kind of person who'd do it, so it's no wonder rumors spread so quickly. Don't mess with me. How dare an outsider interfere like this? I don't know who your client is, but stop bothering me. If you keep this up, I'll report you to the police. Aren't you already in the middle of being reported to the police yourself? What are you even talking about? Look what you've done to me. I was living such a smooth and perfect life, and now at my age, I'm being arrested by the police. Well, my condolences. How can you act like this is someone else's problem? This is all your fault. I don't get it. There's no way an outsider like you could interfere with my company. I didn't do anything myself. My undercover team handled everything. And, well, after seeing your reaction earlier, I had my team dig a little deeper. And wow, did they uncover a lot. It was a gold mine. Skimming accounting numbers and embezzling company funds, that's bold work. And by the way, it seems like you're seriously hated. My team mentioned that a couple of employees even stepped up to lend a hand. Thanks to them, uncovering the fraud and gathering evidence was a breeze. So the company was informed and then it went straight to the police. It's over for you. You've got countless criminal complaints filed against you. And now you're being arrested for embezzlement. Not to mention, the company is probably going to hit you with a hefty compensation claim. No, this can't be how it ends. It's too cruel. What did I do wrong? Everything was going so well. You were the only one who thought things were going well. You genuinely believed you weren't in the wrong, and you thought money could solve everything. But even that has its limits. Your selfish actions hurt and tormented countless people, leaving them with no choice but to endure feelings of frustration and despair. My client is one of those people, someone who suffered greatly and bore deep resentment. Desperate and with nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. Money isn't all powerful. Your downfall is the result of overestimating the power of money. Any power, when misused beyond the user's control, becomes worthless. And money, it can become a weapon. You pointed that weapon at others. You should have been prepared to get hurt yourself. If you weren't ready for that, Then you never should have relied so heavily on money. Prison suits you, because in there, the power of money doesn't mean anything. Suffer there. That will be your way of making amends.
No! What am I supposed to do now? There's no way I'm going to prison. Wait, what if I apologize to the people who filed complaints? Maybe I can avoid being arrested if I do that.
It's far too late to apologize now. You'll just have to reflect on your actions behind bars.
Liam, what's going on? I just received a transfer from you a moment ago. The amount I paid you as your fee before wasn't incorrect, was it?
No, it certainly wasn't incorrect.
Then why did you transfer half of it back to me?
The truth is, the amount you transferred to me was double the actual fee. I just returned the excess amount I received, so please don't worry about it.
What? But I thought the fee was the amount I proposed.
That was more of a kind of ritual. I wanted you to fully commit to this decision, so I intentionally had you decide the amount.
Commitment? What do you mean?
In a capitalist world, money wields an extraordinary amount of power. But at the same time, it instills a profound fear of losing it. That's why I had you name the amount, to help you mentally commit to your decision. If you weren't fully committed, you might have ended up grappling with guilt about pushing someone to the edge.
You're right. That's true. Because I set the amount myself, I was able to fully commit, knowing there was no turning back. And since the amount was something tangible, something I could see, it became a representation of my anger and resentment. That helped me keep my emotions from fading away.
So, were the results of your decision satisfying?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. My husband, who used to dump all the housework on me, couldn't manage anything after the divorce. I heard he couldn't even keep himself presentable anymore. Not only was he isolated at work, but his performance dropped, and his lifestyle plummeted to rock bottom. When I heard that, I felt a sense of relief. And honestly, I thought, serves him right.
People who can't live independently often lose social credibility after all. As for your mother-in-law, she was successfully arrested, and most of her assets are gone. So really, it's a completely satisfying result, and I'm so glad it turned out this way.
Honestly, reaching out for your help was one of the best choices I've ever made.
I'm glad to hear that. You've been through so much pain. From now on, live for yourself. And hopefully, I won't have to take any more requests from you.
I'll live strongly so I never have to make another request like this again. I really appreciate all that you've done for me. After that, I decided to become independent and started looking for a job. I started working as an office clerk. And where did I end up working? Believe it or not, at Liam's detective agency. The previous office clerk had resigned due to maternity leave, and Liam asked me if I'd like to work there. Although I had some experience as an office clerk before getting married, I'd been a stay-at-home wife for 10 years, so I was nervous. But thanks to Liam and the other staff members who patiently guided me, I was able to pick up the work quickly. Since I started working at Liam's agency, I feel like I've finally reclaimed my own life. From now on, I want to do my best to support Liam and the amazing detectives who helped me so much.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.